Hello everyone, Big Dots is here and welcome to another Beast Mastery Hunter video. In this video we will be talking about stats, talents, legendaries, all that good stuff, and we're gonna just see, I did one earlier on 9.1 and now we're gonna do one for 9.1.5 and see if there are any changes, and we'll talk about different covenants. Now we can freely swap, of course. So yeah, a little disclaimer. This information that I'm going to give you is based on personal experience, but also on guides like Icy Veins, Method, and Wowhead. So those are the backbone of this guide. If you guys like this content or if it helped you out, leave a like. And if it really helped you out or you really liked it, then subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton, and I see about 90% of you guys do watch my videos but not actually subscribe, so please do. But without further ado, let's just dive right into it. So, on the stats department, you want to go for agility first, which is your main stat. That's the top priority, and then you go for crit, and then you go for haste. These two you want to up the most on your items. So yeah, that's what you're aiming for. After crit, haste, then you go for versatility, and lastly mastery. Our mastery is pretty high, but that's because we're beast mastery hunters, so you get a pretty high baseline mastery count, but you want to reduce that as much as possible. If you are gonna swap between beast mastery and marksman, then and you find mastery gear with crit, keep it, because apparently for marksman you need crit and mastery. Didn't know that, so I sold all my gear, but you guys do that. That is for the stats. Now we go to the talents. In the talent section, we go for animal companion first, because we're beast mastery, so we want more pets. Dire beast is nice, not a button to press, but not really. The damage is not high enough. And killer instinct is like for a nice execute phase, but doesn't really do it for you. On the 25 row, you go for Scent of Blood. This combines very well with Thrill of the Hunt. Activating Bestial Rat grants 2 charges of Barbed Shot, so you can like do Barbed Shot, then do a Scent of Bestial Rat, so you get 2 Barbed Shots again. Then you do another Barbed Shot. That way you already are at 3 stacks, which gives you 9% crit. And well, 9% extra crit is very nice. One with the pack is nice, but Scent of Blood really smoothens out your rotation, and Chimera Shot just is in single target okay, but for AoE it just doesn't meet up the standard or the damage profile. In the right row 30 talents, these are freely up to your own choice. I would go for Natural Mending because Beast Mastery Hunters are quite fragile, so we could use the extra healing. Trailblazer, not something you're really gonna use, and Camouflage is very good because it's actually a sort of damage increase, because you can do Camouflage instead of Potion of the Hidden Spirits to go stealth, and that way you have a pot to use when you're in like a damage phase. So this is actually a damage increase, but I personally like the Natural Mending more because I like to have a heal on the hands more often. I like that. For our 4th row or 35 level row, whatever you want to call it, you go for Thrill of the Hunt. This gives us something more to manage, and the 9% crit increase, which you are maintaining pretty much all the time, it's pretty easy to do, is very nice. Spitting Cobra, although I like the idea, the Cobra that you actually spawn at the end of Bestial Rod, its damage is reduced by 35% because of Animal Companion. So that's one thing. And secondly, you have to use quite a lot of Cobra shots to amp up the damage, which is single target, and you want to be using those focus on multi-shots. So not really doing it. A Murder of Crows, also pretty nice in single target if you manage to kill the target within 15 seconds, so you can put Murder of Crows on the next target. But when it comes to a boss fight, you can't really swap it because the boss is not gonna die in 15 seconds, and then all this damage is lost. So go for Thrill of the Hunt. On this row, for Mythic Plus, and I have not said that, but this guide is based on Mythic Plus, go for Binding Shot. Post haste is nice for the extra movement, but you don't really need it because you're a Beastmaster Hunter, so you can do whatever. You can run around all you like, and you don't have to stand still. And Born to be Wild, reduce the cooldown of aspect of the cheetah and aspect of the turtle. Yeah. Are you really gonna use it? Maybe in raids? Maybe? Not sure. But I think you should go for Binding Shot. You can help out your tank with kiting, and if your tank for some reason dies, you can throw it down, so the tank has 7 seconds to get rezzed and come back, or 8 seconds even if they get rooted. On this row, Stampede. I would love that this ability would do more damage, because summoning a herd of stampeding animals is fucking amazing. The damage is just simply too low. Barrage costs 60 focus, so you really have to manage your focus if you want to use this. And it also is a massive cone, so it is quite nice. For a 20-second cooldown, you hit quite a lot of targets, but you also pull targets that you're not supposed to pull. So be careful with this. The one that synergizes very well with Scent of Blood is Stomp. Every time you press Barbed Shot, your pets do a stomp, hitting all targets as well. So think of it: you have 2 charges of Barbed Shot, you both use them. Your pets stomp twice. Then you do Sand of Bestial Wrath. You get another charge, 2 charges again, and so you have 4 stomps more or less. This deals a lot of physical damage. It's nice. And on the last row, you could for single target go for Bloodshed, but yeah, it's purely single target. It's not good on AoE. Aspect of the Beast is great on AoE, increases the damage and healing of your pet's abilities by 30%. So all across the board, your pets just deal a lot more damage, and their secondary effects also are boosted by 50%. So for example, I have these spirit pets. They give me extra HP, and this is boosted by 50% as well, making me survive easier. Killer Cobra. Before I thought this was actually like a better single target ability. While Bestial Rat's active Cobra Shot resets the cooldown on kill command, so you can really swap it out, like a Cobra Shot, kill command, Cobra Shot, kill command. Pretty nice. But I made a video on it, comparing both Aspect of the Beast and Killer Cobra. If you want to watch it, you can find it in my channel. Damn, talking is hard sometimes. But yeah, you could see in that video that actually Aspect of the Beast does more damage, even on single target. So go for this one. Those are the talents. Now let's see about the covenants. First off, I'm currently playing as a Night Fae. For the Night Fae, you want to go with Dreamweaver. Out of these 3, you want to go with Dreamweaver. And for our, conduit slots, I think, Feign Death ends, you take 7.8 reduced damage for 8 seconds. This is something, Resilience of the Hunter it's called. This is one I really use a lot during my fights. Just press Feign Death, it's what is the cooldown of it? 30 seconds. Easy. You just press it, bam, and you have 7.8% damage reduction. It's really nice. Then for our potency, you want to go with Spirit Attunement. Wild Spears lasts 3 seconds longer and deals 15.5% increased damage. Just fucking amazing. Makes your burst window even longer. Then we go with Bloodletting. Barbed Shot's recharge time is reduced by 1 second and its damage is increased by 8%. And you guys have to know, and I bet all of you guys know, but in case you don't, let's see, where is it? We go to Beast Mastery. Here. Wild Call. Your auto shots, critical strikes have a 20% chance to reset the cooldown of Barbed Shot. So that's why you want to go for crit mostly, because if you crit a lot, you will get a lot of resets on your barbed shot. Your barbed shots will then be even further. You get more because you are using Sand of Blood, so you have even more barbed shots. And then on top of that, all your barbed shots are stomping the enemy as well. So this combination, like Sand of Blood, Stomp, and going for a shit ton of crit, helps out a lot. So if you then go with, here we have it, go with Bloodletting, where your barbed shot is even, the damage is increased by 8 seconds and the cooldown is reduced by 1 second, so you get even more. It's more damage. Just go for that. Hunter's Mark on another endurance slot. Hunter's Mark decreases the damage the target deals to you by 6.5%. It's nice. So Hunter's Mark your target, then feign that. So it's 7.5%, 7.8% from me, and 6.5. That's a lot of damage reduction just for something that's very, very easy. Like Hunter's Mark, you can always just throw it on there. So that's something you could easily do. And feign that's every 30 seconds. So making it easier to survive. Then, well, you go here. This automatically goes Field of Blossoms. I think this is amazing. Wild spirits put flowers at your feet for 24 seconds that increase your haste by 15% while you stand in them. This is amazing. It deals so well. You have like a mini bloodlust or something. It's amazing. Then we go with this one with the beast. Bestial Rat increases all damage you and your pet deal by an additional 4%. Just a nice increase in damage. Here we have Reversal Fortune, one of our finesse slots, successfully interrupting an enemy with countershot grunts 11 focus. Just nice. And that's it. So follow this line. I think it's pretty nice. This one is for the Night Fae. Now we swap quickly to Kyrian. Yeah, I have to walk closer. Yeah, sorry, blah blah. Here we go. Alright. So it's standing at Pelagos. If I look at the guides, almost all of them say for Mythic Plus, and that's what this guide is based on, for Mythic Plus, Pelagos is the best. I don't like it, but it is the best. So, just again, the same things are in here. Barbed Shot, one with the Beast, and this is Enfeebled Mark for Resonating Arrow. The other one was for the Wild Spirits. I personally like this one, Forge-Light Mechanicos. And why is that? Just a quick little difference, because I don't really know the other, like Vantir. I don't know anything about Necrolord. The Vantir one I don't know. And Night Fae, I don't know really the difference between the three. Kyrian I do know. And this one, Pelagos, he is very strong because you will summon a Manifestation of Doubt. And if you face it, then you gain 10% agility and stamina for 15 seconds. Forget stamina, that's not so important, but you get 15% or 10% agility. That is huge. But this spawns and you have to look at it. And then it is. But what if you do the pack? All nice and dandy, you kill most of it, and then like when the last mob appears, or when you're fighting the last mob, the doubt appears. Well, congratulations, you have 10% increased agility on one mob. That's not a playstyle I personally like. I like more of a controlled playstyle. So if we then go to Forge-Light Mechanicos, his final ability just reduces the cooldown of your Resonating Arrow, your Covenant's specific ability, and it reduces it by 4 seconds per affected enemy, up to a total of 20 seconds. So it's a cooldown of 60 seconds. You can reduce that to 40 seconds. I think that's amazing, because that way you have more control and you have more Bestial Rat in combination with your Resonating Arrow. And again, Resonating Arrow increases your crit. Your auto shots, when they crit, give more barbed shots. You see the thought process here? On this one as well, here you can go for another potency and increase your bestial rat by 5%. This is good, but the talent underneath this one, like after 5 seconds standing still, incoming stuns, this shit doesn't do anything. This, on the other hand, damaging a new enemy grants you 3% haste for 10 seconds, up to 5 stacks. So again, 15% haste, same as with the Field of Blossoms. So whereas the Field of Blossoms is 24 seconds the moment you use Wild Spirits, so every 2 minutes you have 24 seconds of 15% haste. Here, when new mobs start trickling in, because the tank is like chain pulling, hopefully, then you regain those stacks of haste. It's amazing. So you have a lot of haste thanks to this ability. So yeah, go for this one. I personally like that more. But if you follow the guides, then go for Pelagos. And let's be fair, they did the number crunching. I did not do the number crunching. I do what I think is nice to play. Something I really like to play, but have not put that much time in, is Venthyr. Ventyr's Covenant is really nice. As you can see, I'm only 52 renown at this one. For this one, Nadia is the best. According to all guides, she is the best soulbind, and this is the tree that you follow, and you follow it down on the left side here to Fatal Flaw. Here, Dauntless Duelist is very good for single target. So if you are doing raiding or pure single target, then you should go for Dauntless Duelist. Otherwise, go for this row, because then you have another potency conduit where you can put in your Barbed shot. So yeah, I'm not gonna go to Necrolord because I can't tell you anything about it. I haven't tried it. Not really fond of trying it either, because not one single guide is. Oh, I don't want to talk with them. Not one single guide is happy about them, so I'm just not gonna bother with it right now. I'm gonna first level these other 3 covenants before we continue. All right, and that was that on the soulbind part. Now for legendaries, because there are some legendaries. Almost always go for Rhylaik Stalker's Piercing Fangs. This one is just simply very good. Just go for this one. If you are not sure which covenant you want to play, or you don't have the money to buy all these different legendaries, because Blizzard is really screwing us with that, just go for this one. You're safe. It's very good. It's even the best, I think. And this one you will need in 9.2. Because in 9.2 we will have 2 legendaries, of course, but those 2 will be 1 normal and 1 covenant specific. So if you don't have that much money and you only buy a covenant specific one right now, then you will have a problem in 9.2. So just go for Rhylaik Stalker's Piercing Fangs. But if you do have the money, or you want to, then go for Pouch of the Razor Fragments when you play Venthyr. This one is amazing when you play Venthyr. Bonus skill shots from Flayed Shot cause 6 targets within 12 yards to bleed for 60% of the damage dealt by kill shot over 6 seconds. So this actually makes your Covenant specific Flayed Shot, which is a single target ability, and it makes it a AoE ability. And it's very nice. So if you play Venthyr, then go for Pouch of the Razor Fragments. If you play there we have it. If you play Night Fae, then you go for Rhylaik Stalker's Piercing Fangs on Mob Week. Yes, so on when in the weeks where the mobs are stronger. I don't know. I always forget if it's tyrannical or fortified. You go on Mob Week, you go with Rhylaik's. And on Boss Week, so you will have more time with the boss, so fewer targets, you go with Fragments of the Elder Antlers. And this one says when Wild Spirits hits fewer than 5 targets, there's a 100% chance to cause Wild Spirits damage a second time. So you will be fighting bosses more than mobs, and that's almost always like a single target. You're not really mostly in an MDI group, and if you're in an MDI group, you're not watching my videos. So yeah, those guys pull like everything on top. You're not gonna do it. You're simply gonna fight the boss. Go for Fragments of the Elder Atlas, because you will hit the target twice, and it's really nice. Alright, we're back, guys. My wooden PC finally loaded everything up, and we're back at the Night Fae Covenant Sanctum, and we're gonna talk shortly about rotation. But first, I want to quickly talk about our consumables and stuff. So, on our rings, we want crit, because we want as high as crit as we can. And if you have sockets, then you want them on crit as well. I think it's, yeah, quick jewel cluster. Oh no, this is the one for haste. Yeah, about that, very quickly, I like at least to have 20% haste. 20% haste gives just a smooth rotation. If you have lower than that, I think it's personally not so smooth, and I personally don't like it. If it's something you don't have a problem with, then just dump everything in crit if you want to, but I think you should have a baseline of a little bit of haste. That's why I enchanted or socketed one with haste, and I think the other one, the belt here, yeah, as a deadly jewel cluster for crit. Besides that, I would go for optical target embiggener for increased crit, eternal skirmish, and I have some stamina and avoidance. So yeah, those are the things for my gear. Besides that, let's see, for food, I go for spineful souffle and fries for more crit, because why not? I go for Spectral Flask of Power to gain more agility. And lastly, I go in for Potion of Spectral Agility for the pots to increase my agility as well. Well, I say I go for that, but I actually never use them because I'm a scrub and you should definitely do that, but I don't do that. Besides that, I always have spiritual healing potions with me just to keep my HP up, especially these days when you do Mythic Plus and you go for Champion's Brand, like those generals. If you kill them and you choose the talent Champion's Brand, then your HP when below 70%, you don't get the buff. So I would really want to maintain HP above 70%. So if the healer is not really keeping up and I'm slowly dropping, I usually just pop a health potion to get my HP up a little and hopefully get above that 70% threshold so I can deal more damage because I have more crit. You see where I'm getting at. So yeah, and of course just use your Shadowcore oil. It's just cheap as fuck and it really doesn't do all that much damage, but well, every little bit of damage is very nice. Alright, onto the rotation part of the video. I don't know if I can edit like in the screen like which talents I'm using. If that is not the case, you can look down here below where my mouse is pointing at the moment. There the abilities that I press are shown, so you can follow the rotation slowly and perhaps watch it again. I'm gonna slowly do it anyway. Alright. On Night Fae, it's a little different than on the other covenants. But yeah, I think, yeah. What you want to do, what I personally like to do, I like to use skill command to send my pets in, because they charge in. And then I like to use multi-shot, because now my beast cleave, what you can see here, is rolling. This is not your typical opener, but that is something I prefer to do, because I like my pets already like close to the target before anything else. What you then do, and I macroed it. Can I show you the macro? I think I can. Can I? No, I can't, because I'm in a fight. Alright, never mind. I use Aspect of the Wild with my orc ability, Blood Fury. And here you can also like put in, for example, a potion of spectral agility. So you press that, here you can see, and I put my trinket in. What's the trinket called? This one, overcharged animal battery. So you can see I do that and I use my trinket. Then after you've done that, you throw down your wild spirits. There's my blood fury as well. I multi-shot again and I start barb shotting my targets. Bestial Wrath, barb shotting different targets, multi-shot, kill command. And as you can see, I try to keep up Bestial Wrath, not Bestial Wrath, Beast Cleave, every 4 seconds. And I'm making sure I use my barbed shots on different targets. Don't keep doing them on the same target. Don't make that mistake. Also, if you have like still barbed shots left, yeah, so you have barbed shots and Bestial Wrath is off cooldown, you first dump in your barbed shots and then you use Bestial Wrath. Not the other way around. Otherwise you will wasting barbed shots and you are actually wasting stomps and you're wasting damage. Alright, so that's that. Alright, guys, let's talk a little bit about barbed shot and on how to use it and how to think about it. So let's say, just hypothetically, that if you do barbed shot, it ticks for 8 seconds. Yes? And in those 8 seconds, every tick is 1000 damage. So after 8 seconds, your barbed shot did 8000 damage. Easy. Very easy. So if you have one target and you do barbed shot and it ticks for 3 seconds, yes? You have multiple targets, but you use it on one target. So I use one barbed shot on one target, and after 3 seconds, I refresh the same barbed shot on the same target. So what I've done is the first 3 seconds counted, so 3000 damage. And then I did another barbed shot on the same target. And so the cooldown was refreshed. And so he then took for 8 seconds long the next barbed shot. So in total is 8000 plus 3000. So 11,000 damage on one target. Or yeah, on one target. So I did 11,000 damage. But if I did barbed shot on 2 targets and both ran for 8 seconds, then it's 8000 times 2, 16,000 damage. So as you can see in this simple one, if you keep refreshing barbed shot on the same target over and over and over again, you're gonna reduce your overall damage by a shit ton. So don't do that. So for example, again, just to clarify, we have 3 targets here, yeah? And if I hit this guy with barbed shot, and I'm gonna pump 3 barbed shots in this guy. So I'm gonna do it, and after 2 seconds I'm gonna refresh it. So it's 2000 damage, we're refreshing it. So, and then after 2 seconds more, we're gonna just fucking refresh it again. So it's 2000 plus 2000, and then for the full 8 seconds. So 2000, 2000, and 8000. It's 12,000 damage. If I did 3 barbed shots on these 3 targets, it would have been 8000, 8000, 8000. So 24,000 damage. So just by spreading out those dots, I'm dealing way more damage. So please, please spread out your dots, guys. It's very important. So that's one final, well, tip, I guess, on the barbed shot department, where I think some people's go, yeah, well, people can learn about that. So we're gonna do the rotation one more time, because some of you guys asked me to show the rotation again, and we're gonna do it in a bit faster pace, and just look down here what I'm doing. All right, so we're gonna kill command multi-shot, we're gonna press our cooldowns, wild spirits, start dotting up, and trying to keep our beast sleep. We don't want to keep our stacks up. We don't want to be on 3 stacks. Or 2 stacks, I mean, of barbed shot. So we want to pump that out as much as we can. Have to keep that one up. And in between the... if, like, for example, now we don't really have anything to do, we can try and put in a Cobra shot to reduce the cooldown of our kill command. But we don't want to focus starve ourselves, and this is something I can still work on. Here we go. Try and keep Beast Cleave up. So yeah, that is more or less the rotation, guys. As you can see, multi-shot, kill command, bestial barb shot, cobra shot, multi-shot, kill command, probably another barb shot, and that is the rotation as it flows on. Your priority is kill shot off cooldown. If there's a target which you can kill shot, get it off cooldown. Never stack up to 2 targets. Never stack barb shot to 2. Use bestial wrath off cooldown. But if you're gonna bestial wrath, make sure that both your barb shots are on cooldown. That is, of course, if you are using Scent of Blood. And then comes kill command. It's important, but not as important as the other things. So keep that in mind. And yeah, guys, that was more or less it. I hoped you enjoyed the video. I hoped it helped you guys out. If it did, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day.